What is going on, everybody? Welcome. It's Lineman Life Live. Hope you guys like that new intro there.
That shit was fire.
Got that thing up. But appreciate you guys for being in here today. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already done so. Boost us up on that YouTube algorithm because you know that thing is very picky. And also share this with your friends. Let's build this audience together. But today, obviously, we're gonna get into the Dwayne Haskins situation. Obviously, unfortunate, sad news, tragic news about his passing. RIP to Dwayne Haskins, obviously. We're going to talk about that to start the show, talk about the situation. And I really want to talk also about the response, the breaking of it, how the media kind of portrayed the situation. And of course, most people have their thoughts on it, but we're going to get into that. Then also afterwards, we're going to be looking at another offensive lineman. This one is Nicholas Petit-Frere. I apologize for mispronouncing that if I did.
Sorry, young man.
Offensive tackle from Ohio State, 6'5", 315. We're going to look at his game film against Penn State. And we'll break that down as we've been doing. We're almost at the end. We got one more offensive lineman after him, Daniel Falele from Minnesota. And then we're going to rank our top 10 before the NFL draft. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. So definitely unbelievable situation with what happened to Dwayne Haskins. I think everybody was shocked in seeing his passing happen the way it did at such a young age, 24 years old. There's obviously going to be a huge shock factor in that. Anytime someone passes away at a young age, this was a kid who was 24, had his whole life ahead of him, was doing the right things, and he lost his life. Now there's we still don't know exactly the reasons for the situation he was in. I did see someone and this is, I don't know, I have not went to verify this myself, so this is literally me passing this secondhand. I saw someone had sent me a tweet saying that his rental broke down on the side of the road while he was on his way to the airport to return to Pittsburgh. And that's what caused him to get out of the car. And he was near the airport, I guess. And I'm thinking he was trying to cross. It was a 2-lane highway that he was trying to cross. And that's where the situation obviously turned tragic with him getting hit. I don't know I don't know how true or accurate that is. So do not take that as me telling you guys that I got a scoop on what happened, because I do not. But those are just some things that are going around now. As for the response to, or the breaking rather of his of the news of his death, I think there is a lot that can be discussed about how inappropriate and, for lack of a better word, kind of disgusting to me that some of these things happened and were broken, and they broke this news the way they broke it. Now, Urinating Tree, my good buddy Urinating Tree. For those of you who don't know, we do. I would, during the football season, I would be on their podcast on Tuesdays, The Dumpster Fire, him and 5 Points Videos. Shout out to them. But Urinating Tree posts here, Adam Schefter, why do you keep doing this? And this is the tweet that was deleted by Adam Schefter. And just a real quick note on him, in my personal opinion. I said it a couple of years back that Adam Schefter is a snake. He is a company man, and he is not to be trusted if you're an athlete trying to get a message out or talking about anything football related, anything sports related that he is in the sphere of, I just have a deep disdain for the way he handles himself. And a lot of the things that I said have proven to be true, especially when you look at the situation with the Washington Commanders and the NFL investigation into them, and the things that were revealed about how Adam Schefter used the GM, or I believe the GM of when they were the Redskins, to edit, to look over his post before he posted them. So he was literally, compromising his journalistic integrity by having someone that he's posting about approve his actual post. So to me, I it's not the first time, and I mean, we've seen, a lot of people have seen this guy stuff his foot in his mouth when he's on Twitter numerous times over and over. And, he's just a real, I just don't, something about him just screams slime ball to me. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, being professional, and as I understand it, like, a lot of these journalists do that to a degree so that they keep getting the scoops. Like, okay, I get it, whatever. But this goes beyond that. This isn't just like having a wrong take or, not getting the scoop first. I mean, this is just human decency, which, yeah. I think should trump all that other shit. But I guess once you're so like caught up in yourself and using all this information to be like a fucking Lord Barris of the sports world,
he's the Baron of breaking news.
You probably get like desensitized to thinking that these are actual fucking human beings that you're talking about, just not just little pawns on your chessboard. And
Michael Kenji Izumi says here, can't believe Adam Schefter blocked urinating Tree. He blocked him. Oh,
damn.
Hey man, that means Tree is doing something right.
Right, exactly.
That means Tree is doing something right. That's like, I got blocked by Candace Owens. And I was like, shit, that's a badge of honor.
Right.
I'm about to make close. I'm about to make that the freaking background of my homepage.
Yeah, you're getting close to something,
You're getting close. It means I hit a button.
Yeah,
because they had to turn their attention to my profile.
Right.
Because I had talked shit to her before. She didn't realize I was talking shit, and she liked my tweet. And I took a screenshot immediately. It was like, look at this dummy. She don't even realize I'm talking shit about her.
Right.
But anyways, back to the situation. Now, look, and this is kind of I think it is a kind of touchy thing, and it's you have to be very careful when you're talking about people who have passed away and reporting that they've passed away, because like you said, Justin, you're dealing with a human life here. And there's a ripple effect that's going to change the lives of many people, in that person's circle. Like the ripples are going to spread wide for his family and friends. But look, we know how his career had started. And come on, let's be honest. Anybody who gets drafted to the Washington Commanders, their career is right now it usually starts off kind of bumpy. There's usually things that don't get achieved because that organization is run with pure incompetence.
I'm about to say, look at the owner's career.
Look at the owner. I mean, come on.
As a football owner, obviously as a businessman.
Yeah, he's made his money, but no, but he made his money, and yeah, he's a billionaire. But as a football owner and a football runner, and his ability to run a football franchise, he has been one of the worst in the history of the NFL.
Yeah,
like it's pretty bad. Like they've been a team long enough for you to be able to say that. Like I look at Jacksonville and I say, okay, Jacksonville's only been a team for like 20-something years, so they're going. There have been ups and downs in that franchise. They were lucky enough to start off really good and be in an AFC title game 2 years in a row. close to the Super Bowl. They've had, playoff appearances sprinkled out here and there, but the last decade has been kind of ugly, which fine. Nobody's gonna, you're gonna say Shad Khan's not doing a great job, but you're not gonna call him one of the worst ever. But Daniel Snyder has somehow managed to get close to being that. And, players have struggled in that franchise for years, going back to the 90s after they won their last Super Bowl. In 89, I believe it was?
Something like that.
89 or 90, one of those?
Yeah, it's back in the day.
Yeah, like,
Mark Rippon?
With it was the first black quarterback.
Well, I know Doug Williams, but
I
thought they had one after him, but I could be mistaken.
I think they had not. I think the first Super Bowl that the Buffalo Bills lost in that 4 Super Bowl losing streak, that one was to the Redskins. So I think that was their last one.
Okay, that would have been 90, I think. Shit. What a stretch.
But when somebody dies, and I mean, I feel like this is true in any situation, depending on the person's life, as it's like, okay, Hitler dies, nobody's going to talk about good shit. Okay? He earned for us to talk shit about him from his actions during life. That is that's indisputable.
He didn't need Adam Schefter to identify him.
You know what I mean? Like that news broke and they were like, this evil bitch ass motherfucker who shot himself and he's done. And everybody's gonna be like, hey,
well done.
Well done. He's out of here. When a famous person passes away who's done good things, maybe had some controversies, when they pass and it's unexpected, like you kind of like slide the controversial stuff to the side because that's not really what their entire life is defined by. You talk about the good things they've done. You talk about the impact that they've made in a positive way. Mm-hmm. And, we're all human. We're imperfect. So sure, there were things that happened that didn't put them in the best light, potentially. But
we need it that day.
We don't need it on that day. Nobody wants to hear that because they actually did some good and they actually brought some light to some people's lives. You want to be able to empathize in that way. That's just being human. We all got shit we don't want people to talk about us that we've done that's not been the best.
Right.
But for a kid who died at 24 years old, hasn't even had the chance to really have a fully defined life that you can look at and you can summarize and you can actually find some lengthy information to dispose to everyone about what kind of person they were. This is somebody who died very young. And the circumstances are somewhat mysterious right now. And for this to be the first thing you say, and I mean, look, Adam Schefter, okay, I get it. You went to Michigan, but don't nobody give a fuck about your rivalry with Ohio State when it comes to somebody dying. Because if it was, someone at Michigan, someone who was a Michigan alum who had passed in a tragic way in the NFL, Ohio State people wouldn't be over there like, yeah, he's a fucking bust.
Right.
Yeah, okay, but he was a bust. Like, this is callous. This is in complete lack of awareness, and the fact that you should be a little bit more sensitive here. Like, this is not a normal sports story to be talking about.
Right. Just read the room a little bit.
Read the room, my friend. Jesus. So obviously, that's one thing. Now, Adam Schefter released a lengthy apology on the Adam Schefter ESPN podcast. We're going to listen to that real quick, and then we'll talk, because I have not heard this yet. Justin, I don't think you've heard it either.
No, it seems self-serving from the jump, though.
Yeah, I mean, mm-hmm.
But I guess all the apologies are nowadays.
Well, let's go ahead and let's listen to him so we can roast his ass a little bit.
Give him enough rope to hang himself.
See, that's the shit that be killing me. If nobody would have said anything, you would have deleted that tweet. If people didn't get right up in his ass like they did, and you know they did, he would have deleted that tweet. So it's almost like you can't start backtracking when you had an opportunity before you hit send to look at that. You could have even shown it to somebody and be like, "Hey, what you think?" They'd have been like, maybe take the part out about struggling here and there.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Didn't even say it was a tragedy. Didn't even say that. He said, Dwayne Haskins, a standout at Ohio State before struggling to catch on with Washington and Pittsburgh in the NFL, died this morning when he got hit by a car in South Florida. Per his agent, Cedric Saunders, Haskins would have turned 25 years old on May 3rd. That's it. Like, what the like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's how you report that? This is a current player.
Right. Like struggling. I don't even want to talk about that part.
Yeah, like you don't.
He was on an NFL roster.
I mean, you don't even have to talk about the fucking. You only have to talk about his history. You could have just said he's currently with the Steelers. He was in Florida working out with teammates, and tragically this happened. Condolences. Whoosh, boom, easy. You wrap that up quick. You can put a bow on that.
Enough said. Like we don't need, the whole eulogy from you. You don't know the guy.
I mean, nobody needs to hear that. Nobody needs to hear that.
Save that for people that knew the guy.
You know what I mean? So let's continue.
Are you hearing anything that's not playing for me? Yo, I can't hear what he's saying, Ooch.
Oh, you can't hear him?
No. I can hear you. But I can't hear Shefty.
Oh shit! Hold on. Ooh. Stop that. Share. Oh, okay, there we go. My bad.
No, all good.
Let's start it over. Sorry, folks. I didn't have the audio shared.
Oh, okay.
All right.
First, I wanted to address the death of Dwayne Haskins and the tweet that I posted this weekend. It was insensitive. It was a mistake. And I can assure you it is not my intention. I wish I could have that tweet back. The focus should have been on Dwayne, who he was as a person, a husband, a friend, and so much more. I want to apologize to Dwayne's family, his friends, the players in the National Football League, and offer my condolences to everybody close to Dwayne. And in the way I failed Saturday, I wanted to turn people's attention to make sure that Dwayne is remembered properly.
See, again, like all of this is now, this is his response when the general consensus is you're kind of a piece of shit for what you did. Like an apology doesn't hold too much weight, not only because of the fact that you posted this when you could have clearly proofread it, had someone proofread it, read it out loud to somebody and say, hey, does that sound? Come on, man. Like, think about this. When you're about to post some shit that is probably a little like, you're going a little bit too hard here.
Like, oh, man, dip my toe in this.
You know what I mean? Like, we've all done it. We've all literally sat there for 5 or 10 seconds looking at what we're about to send out to the world to see and been like,
fuck it.
Fuck them. Send. And you're just like, okay, let's see if this shit, blows up in my face real quick. You just kind of wait there, see what, you get a like from one person and you're like, okay. and then you get some more likes, and then you get replies, and you're like, oh
shit. They got fucked up.
You know what I mean? It's and you're like, wait, but surely there's going to be more people who, agree or at least see what I'm trying to say over, the people who clearly I've offended. And then you see that mountain of comments, and then you become ratioed where you've got more comments than likes. You got more quoted tweets than likes. And you're like, okay, this one didn't go over quite so well. But again, this is Adam Schefter, who has done this on multiple occasions with multiple different topics. He is like put out like this almost robotic tweet that, people are just like, bro, are you human at all? Like, do you even understand what the hell is this sounds like when you put it out? Like I keep getting that just in my head. I keep getting the image of like the shrewd, backstabbing fucking corporate guy who does anything he can to stay at the top, doesn't give a shit about anybody or their feelings. And this is what I continue to picture in my head. It's always Adam Schefter for some reason.
Like, was there that big of a rush for this story that I couldn't wait to proofread it, that I just had to get it out to the masses instantly?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like that, like he's that guy who has to be first rather than being right. You know what I mean? And that's the famous thing that Denzel Washington said about the media when they asked him what his biggest issue is with the media now. And he's like, motherfuckers are too quick. Everybody wants to be first. Nobody wants to be right. So things always come out sideways.
Yep.
So let's continue here.
After his outstanding career at Ohio State, which led him to become a first-round draft pick, most recently, Dwayne appreciated the opportunity that the Steelers had given him, and he was responding to it. Every day when he left practice, he would bump fists with head coach Mike Tomlin, with general manager Kevin Colbert, and with team president Art Rooney, which was his way of showing that he was grateful to be a part of the organization. They grew incredibly fond of him, and there was a mutual respect and appreciation.
Man, okay, crazy what comes up.
Somebody just wrote this for him.
I was going to say, crazy what happens when you actually do some research or have some research done. In his case, I'm sure. Like how easy is it to find a little bit of good information? No, I was just saying, how easy is it to find some uplifting information on the guy? Like, I'm sure his assistant probably looked up, made 2 phone calls, and found that little tidbit right there.
Yeah, that's just like, it would have taken you 5 minutes. I mean, look, even if you don't know anything to talk about, like, it's still there's like basic ways to handle these situations when you're talking about somebody's death. You just
report
show a little bit of grace, show a little bit of show a little, you report the facts and you show a little bit of grace and offer your condolences.
Yeah.
Like, and then that's it. If you don't know nothing about Dwayne, then that's probably where I would say, hey, you just do it like that.
And we
just talk about, just show your condolences and leave it be.
Yeah. We'd be like, okay, he's a good news source. Now I can go find out more about it on my own.
Yeah. Yeah. And now you're here with this 3-minute diatribe that was clearly put together by a PR team. Clearly. Because he's reading off of something. For one, he's not even speaking from the heart, which that's to me, when you give an apology, if you're going to give an apology, then it needs to be from the heart. I don't want to see statements. I don't want to see tweets apologizing. If you're going to get on a video or record your apology and just speak from the heart. And we can tell when you're speaking from the heart because it's not as just straightforward, smooth as this is. He's just talking in lines right now.
Dwayne loved living in Pittsburgh. He adopted it as his home and rarely left. He was in the Steelers training facility every day after this season ended, working to make himself better, to give himself a chance to compete for the team's starting quarterback job. There are those in the organization who were convinced he was on his way to doing it and that his best days were ahead of him. Dwayne was with the Steelers quarterbacks coach Mike Sullivan every day watching film. And when he wasn't taking steps there in the film room,
bro, I don't even want to hear no more of this.
Yeah,
this
like,
is
I
like a
don't
story.
give a shit about like his good football accomplishments. Like, that's not what I want to hear from you.
That's not what we're asking you to talk about, motherfucker. Like, what is this?
He was actually a good football player, and he had more talent in his pinky than I could ever dream of. Like, I don't give a fuck about that at this point. I want to hear about him as a person, not just a football player.
And this is exactly what the issue is with how, and this is the issue with how media in general has kind of like lost the plot. Like, you're apologizing in a 3.5 minute statement for, a clear lapse of judgment that you had in releasing the tweet that you did. You're responding by now going through his history and just trying to paint us this rosy picture.
I just pulled up the Pittsburgh Steelers website and read off.
You know what I mean? He pulled up his fucking Wikipedia or something. Like, this is not what we wanted you. This is not how you apologize. You apologize for what you did, and you acknowledge that you were wrong, that was insensitive and inappropriate.
I made a mistake, and that's, that's
and
it.
Stop, like, now we don't need to hear you.
They don't do it anymore.
Exactly. Don't do it no more. Like, but because this is like the 5th one that I've seen personally where people are like, bro, like, are you like, what's going on? Like, people literally have been like, yo, he deleted it. You know, you're right. When they delete the tweet, he's deleted like 5 tweets that I've seen. Yeah. Like 5 tweets that were just completely like, yo, bro, you're fucked up with this one.
Yeah, you can't
and then it's deleted, and he deletes it and sends another one out that's a little bit better. He just did it like, I think a week or 2 ago. Like, I can't remember what it was on, but he just made the same mistake again. So nobody really cares. Nobody, I mean, bro, you're not, we just know who you are now. And we don't fuck with you. Des Bryant put a video out there talking about it. But, many other people have talked about it. But I think even worse than Adam Schefter and what he did was this one. Gil Brandt. And this tweet has made its rounds. A lot of people have listened to this audio here. We're going to take a listen to it as well. Gil Brandt on NFL radio when asked about Dwayne Haskins. Now, for those of you who don't know Gil Brandt he's a Hall of Famer, former VP of personnel for the Cowboys from 60 to 89. He's looked at as one of the prominent NFL draft news commentators in the NFL. I've heard of him in the past. I never really heard him. But I knew that he was up there with the Todd McShays. And
yeah, he would have been those guys before the internet age.
Yeah, he was those guys back when it was papers. When you're
actually going and watching people, practice. And I think he was kind of important in the early development of some of those Cowboys drafts, from getting some diamonds in the rough type guys that other people weren't really getting the drop on.
So this dude had a lot of clout in the NFL, tons of clout, and respectability, from people within the league. All until he said this, because I mean, I never even bothered to listen to the guy until just the other day when he said this. These were some of the key quotes from his from his assessment, and again, I mean, it's like, bro, we didn't ask you to. Never mind. I'm not even going to go there. Let's just listen to it. Let's just listen.
How did this come up for him?
Well, he was asked to speak, but he was asked to say some words about it. So let's listen to it here. Let me turn it up.
It's doing the same thing.
Oh, is it? Damn it.
Yeah.
Hold on. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Yeah. Share the audio.
Yeah, I've read some of the low lights, I guess we'd call them.
Yeah. Here we go. Let's start it up.
Got to know the young man a little bit, but also from a scouting standpoint, you analyzed him over the years at Ohio State and coming into the league with the Washington Commanders and then going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, it's a terrible tragedy, and what wanted your thoughts on that, and also on the player, because you did chronicle his career very closely.
Well, Dan, I hate anytime anybody is killed or anybody dies. But he was a guy that was living to be dead, so to speak.
I don't know what that means. Can you expand on that, please?
That's when you're like, wait.
Pause. Cut the commercial.
Hold on a second, Gil.
Cut the commercial.
Now shoot me straight here. What does that mean? Living to die. Well, let's take a break. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is a word from our sponsor. Like, no, what are you talking about? That is not what I thought you were going to say. That is not where I thought we were going with this.
I got to stop you right there, Gil.
I got to stop you right there, Gil.
I can't gloss over this one. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's like, yeah. We gotta hold off, and you gotta tell me a little bit of what are you trying to say here, Gil? What are you trying to say? And this is the thing, like, and you know this, we're like coached in the NFL on how to answer questions. And the first thing they tell you is take a second and think about what the fuck you're about to say. Don't just start spewing off at the mouth, because it's hard to think quick and on the move while you're speaking.
Right. You
so you take a minute. Practiced. You can literally sit there and be like, well, Bob, like,
there's so many fillers you can come with.
You can literally sit there and pause for as long as you need to think about how you're going to say this in a way that's respectful to a person who is no longer here to defend themselves or respond in any way to what you're about to say. So take a second, because the people who will respond are going to be people who care about not only people who are in his family and care about him, but people in the general, population who are going to judge what you say, because this is obviously a shocking moment.
Yeah, rational, decent human beings. Here you say
yes, a halfway decent human being is expected to respond with some kind of empathy and grace, and keep it about the tragedy, and keep it positive about who he was, and not. Don't go into your fucking notebook from the draft and start looking at pages and reading off of that or recalling through that way. That type of thought process is not gonna be a benefit for you here.
I remember he had a pretty good arm. He could throw it about 62 yards on the rope. Like, dude, if that's all you got, just, hey, I'm sorry to the man's family. That's all I got to say about that. This was actually kind of tough for me, because I know Gil a little bit. Actually, when I was
yes, you do actually know. Justin actually knows Gil Brandt.
Yeah, when I was back in school, pondering whether to come out to the draft or whatever, I think my junior year, he actually sat with my family and I, and we had good conversation, got some good advice and things like that. And he was, he'd reach out a few times over the years, just checking in. I mean, not like we're buddy or nothing, but I would damn sure do better than this if he died. And I was talking about him,
Yeah.
So it's kind of tough because, you see someone do these good things, but then have a moment like this. But that's not too different than the way he's talking about, Mr. Haskins. He obviously, things didn't shake out the way he wanted so far in his career, but he was also a great guy off the field. So it's like that duplicitous nature of man. And you're going to bring up okay, we acknowledge that, not a stellar start to his career. Who gives a fuck? I'm not going to disparage somebody personally over football. Especially
two separate
not on
lives, two separate worlds.
Not on the day that they, the exact day they fucking die. It's not like, we just put him back in the Xbox and we don't have to think about him anymore. Man had a family, wife and kid, I think.
Yeah,
and I'm sure lots of other people that depended on him and supported him too. I don't think they should have to sit through this kind of shit.
Yeah, I just don't think that. And you're right, dude. I mean, and look, there's two sides to every person's life, right? There's two sides of two sides to a coin, and Gil in Justin's case, he showed he was kind to him, and it's not. I'm not saying what I guess what I'm trying to say here is that doesn't mean the guy's never done anything, worthwhile and
right.
genuine in his life because he spoke completely inappropriately about Dwayne Haskins. That doesn't mean he hasn't had any positives or it doesn't necessarily mean he's a totally bad person per se. But in this instance,
instance,
he has painted himself as someone who will be looked at as a bad individual for this because this was an immediate thought from him, and this is what the truth comes out when you speak to people in this kind of sense. You're giving your thoughts. You're giving the truth of what you believe. And
the first instinct is usually
it turns out he fucked it off.
They told him don't under any circumstances leave school early. You just don't have the ties.
A little bit.
But he was a guy that was living to be dead, so to speak. They told him don't under any circumstances leave school early. You just don't have the work habits. You don't have this. You don't have that. What did he do? Left school early. I always can remember this. We invited players to the draft, and he was one of the players we invited to the draft. And we were told, no, we're going to have our own party. His own party was a party at the bowling alley, charged him $50 to get into the bowling alley for his party.
And?
So you hating is what you're saying.
I don't.
What you
plenty of people don't go to. I mean, there's nothing that says you have
you're hating on this
party
kid.
a certain way. Well, I don't understand
because he chose.
How is this relevant?
Exactly. Boom.
Why would somebody tell me? If you're telling me don't under any circumstance enter the draft, that means I'm like a day 3 prospect. This motherfucker went first round.
Yeah, 15th overall. He was a first round pick.
There's obviously a disconnect, and you're getting bad information. If he was so not ready, he wouldn't have been drafted like that. I mean, these teams are doing their fucking homework.
To me. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I mean, these teams do their homework before they are investing, millions and millions of dollars. So surely somebody didn't think he should have stayed in school.
Yeah. And for me, what does that matter? Why is that even a topic of discussion that he left school early when, like you said, he was a first round pick? So clearly he made the right decision. Secondly,
he didn't come to my party.
Why are you mad? You mad, ain't you? You mad because y'all invited him to the draft and he said, no, I'm gonna have my own draft party with my people in my community. And of course,
you don't know what he did with that money.
You don't know. And boom, you don't know what he did with that money. He could have donated that money. I mean, he was about to get paid first round money. You think he's really going to be that concerned about? Of course, he's going to charge people to get in because he's partnered with a charity to do the event.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. But either way, even if he was just doing it for his own profit, it's his fucking draft party. So what? So what? And so that, to me, this is just like, these are things that, one, nobody cares about. Two, don't speak to who he was as a person. They're just things that he did that were actually beneficial to his life. And you speaking about these things as if they were negatives. Like, what fucking like decade are you? I mean, okay, you're 90, we get it. Damn. But Jesus, I mean, none of this has anything to do with anything. It's actually quite ridiculous.
Yeah, first of all, completely irrelevant. But even if it were somehow relevant to the story, I don't think any of these things are negatives.
Yeah, these aren't negatives, but
the guy saw an opportunity,
trying to make them negatives.
The guy saw an opportunity to make millions of dollars, and he took it.
I mean, that's capitalism,
the fuck is
baby.
He gonna do that?
That's what the fuck the point of this shit is.
Who's not going to do that?
Who's not going to do that?
Let me go back to school. And do this shit.
So let's continue. It's almost done. It's got about 50 seconds left.
They're making money to Ohio State, though.
You know?
It was always something, you know. It's one of those things. I'm never offside, but they keep calling me for offside.
I mean, sorry, I don't mean to pause it again, but what the fuck does that? What? I mean, what is the guy who asked him the question thinking right now? He's like, oh fuck, this guy's about to go viral.
He's like, hey, I got one right now.
We got one. We got one. What the fuck? It's always something. I'm not offsides, but they keep calling me for offsides. What the hell does that mean?
Is he a defensive lineman?
I mean,
what the fuck is this? Oh man,
what are you talking about? That's like, he's senile for one. That's what that shows me. He's a little senile because I don't think he understood what this guy was really asking him. He was asking him to say a few words about just the fact that this kid just died, and like, hey, you know, show a little empathy here. Like, that's what he means when he asks you the question, to kind of keep the flow of empathy going, because people right now want to know what happened, but they also, you know, they look at this as a young guy who was like just starting his life. Like, speak in that kind of sense, not in your football evaluation or in your personal vendetta because you're mad because he didn't want to come to the draft. Nobody want to hear that.
It's what it is. So, you know, it's a tragic thing. Anytime anybody dies, it's tragic. And especially when you're 24 years old and you got your whole life ahead of you. But you know, maybe if he'd have stayed in school a year, he wouldn't do silly things. I mean, when you're jogging on a highway, you know, on a road like that leaves it open, because I tell you.
Because that's what they teach you in the fourth year of college, is not to jog across the highway. Third year, you might still do that shit.
Bro,
like, come on, dog.
Like, what are you saying, man? Stop it! Stop! Like, somebody must have been in the producer's room looking through that little glass, like, got him, shut him up!
Yes. Pull the plug. Where's the guy from Forrest Gump that pulled the goddamn all the wires when he was making his speech? We need that.
He said maybe if he would have stayed in school,
he wouldn't do silly
he'd still be alive right now, basically. What? Cut the mic, please. Cut his mic. I mean, that is just beyond the pale. Like, you cannot think that this is appropriate to be saying about a young man. And then he, you know, of course, the little precursor, oh, it's tragic when anyone dies.
But I said
24.
I said no disrespect.
I said but then said with all due respect.
Then you slap me, spit in my face.
You know what I mean? Stomp on my name.
Kick me in the balls. But
you know
with respect.
Mean?
Like, come on, dude.
With all due respect.
You gotta know better.
Like, come on.
So guy has 2 drinks and he's just a little bit to the right side of the road and gets hit and killed, it's easy to happen.
Is that confirmed?
Yeah.
Just like, yeah.
Have we seen a Talks report?
Boom. Again, where did these drinks come from? Nobody even said nothing about no drinks. As far as the investigation has shown, there has been no evidence of alcohol involved with this situation on Dwayne Haskins' part. What we don't know is that the dump truck that hit him, we don't know if that guy was drinking or not. It was 6:30 in the morning. We don't know.
Yeah, we have no idea.
We have no idea. That's information that will come out, at a different time and date. But it's being investigated as a traffic homicide. So, we'll see. But definitely not the kind of shit that you want to say about a person who has passed away. And this is, and he put out an apology too via tweet. He didn't write it. Somebody else wrote it. You can tell. I don't think these people, I don't think Gil Brandt is doing his own tweets, if he even knows how to use his phone in that way. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves there. Now, somebody else who did also have some take on this that I'm not a fan of this cat, but of course, to me, it always feels like he's trying to make an excuse for someone in their transgressions against people that are seen as inappropriate. Jason Whitlock. Old Jason Whitlock. Jason Whitlock got me banned on Twitter for a week because I called him a coon. Yeah, homicide doesn't mean murder. Somebody just posted that here. Yes, I understand that, but they're going to investigate it. Whoops, that was the wrong tweet. Here it is. Means death cause other than natural. Yes, so they'll investigate and see what's going on. But Jason Whitlock says, "Don't seek the opinion of old people and babies. They will tell you exactly what they think."
Okay. You got to share it again.
Oh, this fucking thing. That should be on by default.
Right.
Share the audio. Okay, here we go.
I'm gonna ask a little kid, "Hey, am I overweight?" Kid's probably gonna say you're fat, because that's all he can think to say. He's not gonna say, "Well, you're pleasantly plump."
Maybe if he'd have stayed in school a year, he wouldn't do silly things. I mean, when you're jogging on the highway.
This motherfucker look dead already. Look at him. Sheesh.
I mean, if I make it to 90, I'd be pretty happy to be.
I'd be pretty happy to be dead.
Spry enough to be anywhere, really.
I'd be like, come on, what are we waiting on here?
Food like that leaves it open, because I tell you, guy has 2 drinks and he's just a little bit to the right side of the road and gets hit and killed.
Look at his face. He's like,
it's easy to happen.
Yeah.
See, this is what happens in my experience. Not that I know a bunch of 90-year-olds, but I certainly know people in their 80s. But you reach an age where people need to be very careful about what they asked you, because there's a certain age where you only really speak the truth. I think it happens.
And that's where my first point is. That's the first point of contention I have with him. Like, no, he was not speaking the truth. He was throwing shade. He wasn't speaking the truth. He was throwing shade because, one, he didn't agree with Dwayne Haskins leaving college early. 2, he didn't agree that Dwayne Haskins chose to have his own draft party rather than come to the NFL draft, as if, it's a big thing if the NFL asks you to come to the draft, but you don't have to accept that. You don't have to go. And there have been players in the past who have been asked to come who chose not to go. So for me, I look at this and that's where he doesn't even like start with the right kind of approach to this, because he's not speaking the truth.
Yeah, just because
he's speaking in his personal opinions, in his personal feelings, which are kind of vindictive against Dwayne Haskins.
But see, now nowadays everyone's talking about, speak your truth. Like, nah, motherfucker, that's an opinion.
Yes, that's that's one thing that I cannot for the life of me understand how somebody thinks you can speak your truth, and that means that anything other than you're just saying what you think, because your truth is not the truth. It can be the truth if it aligns with the truth, but there is no such thing as your truth. There is the truth, and then there is other thoughts, other opinions. That's it.
Right.
That is just point blank, period. And I hate when people say your truth. And in the political world, a lot of people on the liberal side of politics, on the left side of politics, we'll call it, they say, speak your truth. Speak your truth. Motherfucker, that shit ain't the truth. It's just what you think.
Oh, man.
Your truth.
I wish we could just throw that shit away.
Look, we big motherfuckers. If I walk outside in a tight-ass fucking turtleneck, the silk shirt, turtleneck, and hey, I'm a big motherfucker. I got a little bit of pouch at the bottom. Shit. If I walk outside and be like, I look better than the guys in muscle shirt who are these muscled up fucking roid head. I'm looking swoller than them.
Oh, no.
That's my truth. No, motherfucker. You chunky. And that's the truth. That's the truth. You got a gut. That's the truth.
Hey, you chunky but funky, man.
You chunky. Now you can ball and be chunky and they can love you. But don't you dare say you got a 6-pack. Yeah, you got a 6-pack about 3 inches under that shit.
Yeah, I got a 6-pack back in the fridge right now.
For real. You are a big motherfucker. You're solid, but you're not shredded. Stop it. That's the truth.
Right, yeah.
I hate when people say that. Your truth. I'm like, that's a lie. Your truth is a lie.
But we can't all be speaking the truth.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, stop with the madness. Anyways, let's continue here.
Happens with babies. You ask a 3, 4, 5-year-old what they think, they're going to tell you pretty much. They don't have that filter to I'm supposed to lie here. So they just tell you what they think. Hey, Jace, if I go up and ask a little kid, hey, am I overweight? Kid's probably going to say you're fat, because that's all he can think to say. He's not going to say, well, you're pleasantly plump. Well, you're husky. He's going to, no, you're fat. And that's what kids do. If you ask a 90-year-old what they think, they're going to, generally speaking, tell you exactly what they're thinking. And so Gil Brandt told the truth from his perspective about.
Again, he said what he thought.
Yes.
And if you listened and understood what he was saying, he was being pretty vindictive. He was literally just throwing shade at this cat. That is not in any way just a truth. It's not. Now, if he had said, hey, look, even at that, I wouldn't even have talked about his football life in specific. I would have said, first round pick, Ohio State. We already, that's a rehash. We didn't already said all these things, but this is just, when I hear Jason Whitlock say these things, I feel like he's just not really I feel like it's more disingenuous. It's a disingenuous argument because he spoke at length. Gil Brandt spoke at length, which means he has enough brain power to process a coherent thought. A 4-year-old thinks in very simplistic, incoherent perspectives.
Yeah, he said, yeah, you fat. That was it.
That's why they're gonna say you fat, because they don't even understand what a filter is. At 90 years old, even at 90 years old, you still can think and speak in a coherent 2-minute long diatribe. Then you have the brain power to understand what empathy should be used and what way you should approach speaking about someone who's tragically died.
you chose, the path you went down. It's not like you just rambled on about something like someone else, like he just started talking about the fucking weather or something. He knew what he was saying, and he said it.
Yeah, absolutely. He knew what he was saying, and he said it. And then he saw the backlash.
He could have just as easily said 2 sentences, my condolences, prayers to his family.
He could have said the first part where he said it's really tragic when somebody dies, and he could have just followed that up by saying the part he said near the towards the end. Yeah, it's really tragic when somebody dies. You would have been saying the same thing literally twice, and people would have thought that's more coherent than the whole thing you just said about Dwayne Haskins in that 2-minute talk.
Just rambling on about shit that's got nothing to do with nothing.
Exactly. Now, people, and this is what we were just talking about. Speak your truth. The right has alt facts. Yeah, the right has that alternate fact shit, which ain't facts. There's only facts. There's no such thing as alternate facts. That don't exist.
We don't
That's
get a
made
qualifier.
up. That's an opinion.
Yeah, facts don't get a qualifier.
Yeah, there's no qualifier for facts.
They're just facts.
It's just facts. 1 + 1 = 2. That is a fact, and it will never change.
They're not even true facts because that implies there are untrue facts.
Yeah, it's literally just a fact. So that kudos on adding that there, because that is a fact. Let's continue here. Let's get through this. Then we'll get into watch some film after this.
What he knew about Dwayne Haskins. And had he said that on Friday, when Dwayne Haskins was alive, there would be no controversy. He could speak the truth on Friday. On Saturday, in death, he's supposed, at 90 years old, is supposed to be smart enough and have enough of a filter to go, guy's dead. I'm not going to say what I really think. I'm going to keep it real simple here. I know I'm on the radio and they want me to say what I really think, but no, he's dead. I don't want Twitter upset with me, so I'm going to bite my tongue and not say what I really think. And see, this is an indication of where we're gone.
What happened there?
That was kind of strange.
Yeah.
Where we've gone in this society. Gil Brandt's comments are, people are acting like he dropped a nuclear bomb on Haskins and his family.
See, and again, this is why Jason Whitlock wasn't on Fox Sports very long. This is why he wasn't on ESPN very long. Because in talking about this situation here, he is making an assumption that what Gil Brandt is saying is somehow the truth of who Dwayne Haskins was, when what Gil Brandt was saying, while true in that he did leave school early, that's not negative. I don't know why he's trying to spin it as people are looking at if Gil Brandt would have said this on Friday, it wouldn't have been a problem. Well, if Gil Brandt would have said that on Friday, then he would have just been kind of chronicling the timeline of Dwayne Haskins. Now, that would have been an answer to a question that nobody asked at that time. Now, when he gets asked to say a few words about Dwayne Haskins in clear context of the fact that he just died, he chose to speak about a chronicling of Dwayne Haskins' life in a negative manner because it went against his principles as, a football analyst. And that is where it's seen as inappropriate. That was not what you were asked to talk about, one. And then in the end, you assume he was drunk, and that's why he was on the highway.
Poor form right there.
Truly poor form. Truly poor form. So I think we've gone through this pretty thoroughly, and kind of really reviewing just how inappropriate and just tone deaf and idiotic these two people's initial reactions were. And the apologies don't really mean much because the initial reaction, it's like first impressions. You only get one fucking shot. If you mess that up, the apology don't erase it. The apology just allows us to side-eye you instead of saying, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Now it's just like, oh, he knows he fucked up.
Yeah. So it's poor form. It's bad journalism. It's bad. It shows little respect and little empathy for the dignity of someone else's life now that it's lost. And, I understand, that it doesn't mean that this person's evil per se, but it does mean that they might be stupid. So we will leave that at that, and we will move on to our offensive line breakdown. Nicholas Petit-Frere is our offensive lineman that we're going to be looking at today. He is out of Ohio State University, and we are going to watch this film, break it down. Y'all know how we do. We're going to give these guys, we're going to break down technique. We're going to kind of, we break down the plays in a sense as well. So we'll be going through all of that here. Let's go ahead and get it started. Now, our guy is number 78. He is, and it's actually that's pretty good. He's actually taking on two guys here. All right, so here's our guy right here, 78. And he's got, this is a true 3-4. They've got 3 down linemen, 1, 2, 3, 4 backers. This is an alert here, I would say. I think this is a bluff because you've actually got man coverage here. He might be spying on the quarterback, but you actually have this looks like they're going to bring a dog here, rush these guys. I wonder if this guy here is going to cover this tight end. We'll see. But I like Nicholas. Like, this is a good form right here. This is like his set is ideal. He's at 45 degrees. He's got his hands ready. That's about where you want him to be. You don't need to be like super high up here, but he's got him up. He's got his set at an angle. He actually, and I don't really like how he makes contact with this outside leg on the ground and his inside leg coming off. You kind of want to keep that inside leg. You want to flip this. You want this inside leg to be planted as you make contact, and it gives you. It's hard to explain. Like, and Justin knows what I'm talking about here. Where when you hit him with that right, for me, a right guard, if I'm pass setting to my right, when I hit him with my right arm and my left leg is in the ground, you feel that strength in your set, so you can actually push and reel, and then follow him and continue your set firmly without losing your balance. I think right here, just looking at his feet, he kind of straightened. They're starting to straighten out when he makes his punch, which when that happens, everything's from the waist up. All your power is coming from the waist up. So the outside leg down. But he is taking on pretty much 2 guys right here. And he does a good job of keeping his set going, which is good. He actually ends up in pretty damn good position. So this will be a plus to me because he was able to recover from that and keep his feet. Now he's got that leg on the ground. He's got strength. He's got him locked out.
Yeah, this is a good rep for me.
That's a good rep. That's a really good rep.
We talk about the vertical set and dragging off the 3 technique a lot. Now this is a little different because it was a 3 down look, but the same principle applies when both those guys are rushing. You can almost use
vertical.
Yeah, you can use that first guy. You can kind of use his upfield charge to help you get back. If you have that hand up and on him, kind of as an aid to you. And since they both kind of stay outside, really,
and he's got help on the inside too.
Yeah, they're not on the same page, first of all.
Yeah, but, 2 guys in the same gap on defense. That means they fucked
both
up.
be rushing outside because now there's a huge lane for the quarterback to run. if he's
and all these guys dropped out here, so he would just literally if he wanted to take off, he has space.
Yeah, good job right here. Good awareness. I would love to see the guard touch somebody. Do a little work.
Guard's like, damn, he got him.
Yeah,
he gets on somebody eventually.
Yeah, good rep
for sure. All right. Okay. So I think this is actually a pretty good job. Got his feet on the ground when he makes contact. Like, can't overstate that. When that second step is when you make contact, he got his first foot down quick. The second foot down. Now he did a little skip, but in this situation, his responsibility here is to keep this guy, expand this hole a little bit, and to keep this guy from beating him back to the inside, because this is the inside run. So linebacker fills here. Your center and guard work to their men here. He's actually got his hands inside of the defender. Now, I would say his helmet's
I know what you're about to say, and we're gonna sound like like we keep on beating this drum, but he's got to rip back upfield. Why don't guys do this shit? It's so easy.
Once you get him right here, and he does that, no, you get this outside arm under him, and you start running back on that same angle. Because these guys are going to react. That's the thing. They're always going to react. Once he sees where the ball's going, he's going to react. Now, I would say here, because his helmet was on the far outside of him on the inside zone, that's how he initially lost the ability to react to this. Because his helmet is on the opposite side of this guy. Let me back it up a little bit here. Got his helmet outside. He actually turned his shoulders a little bit. Now he's also facing the sideline, which
now he's perpendicular to the line of scrimmage here.
Yeah, it's not.
But for this type of play, I was going to say not ideal, but for this play, I guess you can just keep him where he's at. I don't love it, but it seems like that's what they're asking for nowadays.
Yeah, I don't think that I don't think this is because the tackles sometimes in the run game, the tackles are just they're not really given a ton to do. They're just like, bro, just don't let them beat you inside. That's it.
Yeah.
And now if they're play side, they got to make a hard block. They got to reach a guy, get him to, they got to expand, they got to run him off the ball. I think here he broke down and he kind of stopped his feet a little bit. When he made contact with his inside half rather than making it more square on him where it was even. And I think that is what kind of affects him here. I think that's where, he turns and now it makes it hard to be able to rip back on that. So, I would give him a plus on effort, a minus on technique, but it's not, that's an easily coachable thing.
Yeah, it's not going to kill that play.
Okay, this is good. I mean, in the league, they're going to be like, you got to be faster.
Yeah,
they're going to say this has to be faster.
No reason for that second step.
Yeah, there's no reason for that second kick slide. But because you got to be faster to get in, because in the league, this guy is hitting this shit. He's going to be hitting it. He's going to be hitting it. This guy's going to be getting across the face to pull this to get this lineman to move so that there's space here.
Mm-hmm.
So when he was still taking that second step, 1-2-1-2, and then really he didn't even do a bad job with how it didn't take him too far. He actually recognized it, but you gotta beat him there now. Right here, you gotta beat him there. You gotta mash him into 54. You gotta mash him into him. Like he's behind. That's called being behind him. Because look, if this is like Von Miller is going to rip through him in a heartbeat. Or no, you don't, because he's not really giving him an outside go here, but he is going to be hitting that with full speed, and he's going to do everything he can not to touch you while he does it.
Yeah, I think you'd like to be head up, like stripe for stripe at worst. Actually, that's probably ideal, but for this
Yeah,
level
you
of
want to be head up.
competition.
You want to be head up when you hit him. That way you can sit square and you can react to anything he does. It's hard to react to counters in this position as a general rule as an offensive lineman. It's hard to react to counters when you're in this position because what tends to happen is you're going to lean on him to try and to push him into this guy. You're going to sell out and lean. So once you lean, a good, a graduate level defender is going to feel lean, and it's going to use the lean's momentum against it and come back out. But if you're squared up on him, you'll stop him, you'll keep him from penetrating, and then he'll have to rethink. Now he might try and go for the outside go, but you're square, so you're able to react to that as if it was a regular pass set. And it makes these are just things that being square is almost always the right thing to do when taking on a defender. Like you don't want to try to force them one way, and it's obvious because your body is turning them that way. Because again, in the NFL, you go against a defensive lineman, you're going to be responding to 1, 2, 3 different pass rush moves. Oh my God. Who was it? I played against. Why do I always forget this cat's name from Cincinnati, defensive tackle?
Geno Atkins.
Geno Atkins. I always want to say. Why do I always want to say like BJ Raji? BJ Raji was garbage.
He's Green Bay.
Yeah, he's Green Bay. Yeah. Geno Atkins, man, when I played against that cat, I played against him probably like 3 times. That dude would have like 4 pass rush moves in one pass rush. I'd be like, God dang, come on. I'm like, stop.
It's over.
It's over. The ball's gone. But, you have to, you can't sit on any one move that he does, because once he feels you sit, he goes to the next move. And that's what good D linemen do.
Yeah, they're always thinking ahead.
They're going to sit on you. They're going to, anytime you sit on their pass rush, like you got them, they're going to switch. Now, I'm looking here at the chat. I think Uche and Justin, that's on infographic by Crack that states there's only 11 minutes of actual gameplay per hour of a game due to NFL mandating 20 commercial breaks per play.
What?
Per a study, bro. I don't know. Hey, look, I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I would say there's something
there's something like a dozen minutes of action in a game.
If you
it's not
cut out, from the end.
It's not because commercials.
Yeah, it's not because of commercials. Yeah.
If you're looking at just whistle to whistle play, it's something like 12 minutes a game. Maybe less than that.
Yeah. Whistle to whistle.
It ain't much.
Cutting out the 40 seconds in between, cutting out commercial breaks, cutting out injury breaks. Yeah, probably like 12, 15 minutes. I can see that. See that.
I mean, we could watch a game, like when we're studying film, like that's how we watch, no commentary.
We watch play to play. Yeah, no comment. Like this is the kind of film we watch in the league. Like it's just, for O-line, you have 2 looks. So you'll have the sideline and then you'll have this end zone cut. Generally, O-linemen, we mostly look at the end zone. We do look at the sideline cuts for certain plays where there's like a blitz and they want to show us, like our coach would want to show us, hey, like look at these safeties on the sideline cut. These safeties are giving it away, that kind of thing. But not it's we go through these films, you break them down, you look at everything. This is how we do it. All right, so we'll keep going. I give him a plus on that one just because wasn't a bad job. He reacted to it. Just gonna want that faster. So here, this is not a bad job. This is he's reaching a defensive end. The reach block is the hardest block in football. The reach block is the hardest block in football. Now, let me slow this down a little bit because I do want to. Okay, so all of their helmets are pretty much on the outside zone angle. The only thing I would say here is that when that second foot touches your helmet's on the wrong side.
Mm-hmm.
He actually made contact on his second step. He got his hands inside of his defender. That's good. His helmet is on the wrong side. He needs to be aiming for the outside of this outside crease right here. That's where he needs to be aiming his helmet. So that would be on the other side of this guy's face mask. Because when you get it on the other side, this guy will once a defender feels you have gotten on the outside of him, he will fight to get back to the outside.
Yep.
And that's where you should see that. Boom. He's fighting to get back on to keep the outside. If his helmet was front side of this, he would have control of the block. He would be able to use that backside arm to launch this guy.
Right.
Launch him. The reach block doesn't mean you reach him and get him hooked off. The reach block means you get to his outside shoulder and you expand the hole. And when he tries to regain outside leverage, that's when he will become vulnerable, because now he's got to give up some of his technique to get back outside, to fight outside. And when he does that, you run him as far as he wants to. You run him way further than he wants to go. I mean, that's when you pancake guys.
Yep.
That's when you get them, because they're fighting just to get back to their responsibility. So he had the edge set here. Now the edge is set, so the defense has the advantage on anything coming outside. Now, obviously, they're running a bootleg here, and they fake that, or they ran an RPO. But I think it was a good job at the start for him. But the helmet not getting to the outside shoulder is what, he loses this block. He loses.
Yeah. Yep.
But I like his ability. Like, he has ability. He has technique. He knows what he's doing. He looks good. He just isn't winning.
I could tell he's athletic. Big, strong cat. But
I can tell he's a
little coaching, I think, will be just fine. Ooh, swing and a miss.
That's what you don't want. That's that shit I don't like.
Yeah, he got lucky here, because I think the guard right here is signaling that them two are going to block
Might
them
be
two.
a fan. Yeah,
So they're trying to fan out to 17 and 23. He's lucky that 23 drops out of here.
Yeah.
So that they can have a 2-on-1, because if it was just him on 17,
that's a sack.
That's barbecue chicken.
Barbecue chicken. So right here. Okay, I actually like his demeanor here. Now, I think this foot might be off the ground a little bit. I'm not off the ground, but I think
he's up on his toe. Yeah,
he's on his toes. Boom. That's exactly what I'm thinking. He's on his toes here. This is good. His guard is paying attention, keeping his body in. I think his base is too wide, but he has arranged himself to be able to react to this. He's got his hands ready to shoot. He's on his toes. So when he begins to shoot, when you're on your toes, what happens? You lean forward. And he leaned, and this dude hit him with the swim, hit him with the club. That's what we've been saying on all these film sessions. When you lean, or when you turn too quick, when you lean, those two things will get you in real quick trouble. And that's what happens here. He leaned. He's on his toes. Now, all that weight, where is it? It's on the outside leg.
Yep. All
that weight on the outside leg, that means you're vulnerable to the inside. There's nothing here to keep you balanced. He hits him with that. Really, the guard is kind of screwed right here, because it's like, your center's starting to get beat.
Who do I help?
Your center's starting to get beat. Your tackle's beat. You got to go help him. Now, this guy floats out, so that actually, he didn't help. He didn't do himself any favors.
Right.
Should have been working back in this way. And they end up washing it all out, and it ends up being of no consequence. But they both kind of, the tackle definitely lost on that. That would be a minus.
Yeah.
Now this, I like how his whole demeanor. He's getting his feet in the ground. That's good. That's what he's asked to do here. Now, get your hands down a little bit when you punch. Get your hands a little bit lower. You're punching at the top of his pads instead of punching at his chest. He's punching at your chest, and look what he's doing.
Yeah, that's why he has to reset his hands.
That's why you got to reset. He's actually delivering the hand punch to you. And the dude's got long arms. Long arms. You got to put him on him, and he won't have nothing. But I think he does a good job here, just sitting on him, and he's resetting his hands, which is good. But that just goes to show you what that hand punch actually means, because look at how he's able to lock him out with this arm.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a good punch is an old lineman. That's what happens to the defender. That's what it looks like. The defender is stood up. His back is arched back. He's arched back a little bit, and he has to regroup. So, I give him a plus on his effort. I'd actually give him a plus on his technique, because he was in the right place. He was he wasn't being asked to do a lot there. Even though he did miss the punch, he reset, which, hey, if you miss, reset. Then you can recover, and you won't get it counted against you.
Yeah, you're not always going to hit him, dead in the chest every time. So you got to be
you're not
able
going
to
to always hit him first time.
Got to be able to recover and counter just like they do. And I'm not going to front. That's a scary ass block. when you got a shade
by yourself,
when the guard's going down to a shade, so there's no help inside, and you got
nobody coming to help you, cuz you got
to sell the play action too. Oh, he's probably shitting in his pants before that one. So
somebody says, is it Daily Donkey Salty Dabs? Is it more difficult to play left tackle or right? Motherfucker, I ain't played tackle in no time. Now, I played right tackle a couple of times in practice. It's different. It's different because you're rarely doing anything with any help. You're just kind of on your own in no man's land. Now, Justin, you were left tackle in college, right?
I was right tackle in college.
Right tackle in college. Okay.
Thankfully, I never had to play any left tackle.
Oh boy, bro. Hey, let me tell you something. I do not envy left tackles, even for the money they be getting paid. I'm like, bro, y'all are literally. If you don't do it, quarterback's dead. Quarterback's gonna be roast beef all game.
I will say, historically, the right tackle's been a big mauler type.
Right side of the line is for running.
And generally speaking, you run the ball to the right. Not sure how it started off that way, but that's just how things have always worked out.
Pass protection is, I personally think that the right side of the line is more for running attack and it's running attacks but in the pass game it's even. There's not a real difference outside of the left tackle, because the left tackle is protecting the blind side. That's why he's important.
That's the thing. And that's why the defenses finally caught on and started putting their best athlete at that
on the
defensive
right side of the
spot.
O-line.
But now they're starting to see that the right tackles are a little weaker in pass protection and flip-flopping some. Depending on the guy's body type. If you got like a wiry type guy, you're probably not going to leave him on that against that right tackle, because he's going to get ate up and they'll just run for 1,000 yards. But if you got a guy that can hold up in the run game as well as rush the passer, they're going to start putting those guys on the right tackle because they're just not as good in protection.
Yeah.
You see the Pro Bowl's 5 left tackles for a reason.
Yeah, it's all left tackles. Left tackles protect the blind side. You usually look for a left tackle who's more athletic, because they're going against the most athletic defender. And even now that they kind of flip, sometimes they put that good DN on the right side of the offensive line. Now though, I think you're seeing more and more that right tackles, they're both athletic.
Yeah.
You're starting to see more of where they're both athletic, and your insides or your inside three or your maulers. Now, I started at left guard. I was at left guard my first year as a starter, and Vince Manuai had a torn ACL. So once he came back from that, they moved me to the right. And then they just, cut the guy who was at right. But it was, I did a lot of pulling on the left. They had me pulling all the time. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, people have heard my Denver story. That's a story I'll never forget. 12 36 powers in a row. You just seen Oots just coming through here, sacrificing. These cats in Denver, they knew what he was doing. They was so tired, they couldn't stop it.
Oh, shit.
They just kept taking it. So
each one of those probably a week off your life.
That's when I got CTE.
This moment here.
That was the brain damage moment, because I ain't never, bro. We got on the plane after that game, and I was just in the plane seat like sleeping with a headache. Just my head was cracking. And we watched the film the next day, and I was like, oh, the blood. There's blood everywhere. There's blood everywhere. All right, let's see. So this one here, this is college football for you. I don't understand I don't understand what this is. Because in the run game, and when you're running against this, so right here, what they are actually in. This is actually an over front.
Yeah.
This is 1, 2, 3, 4
over G.
Linebackers right here. Yeah. Safety playing backside in the box. I would call him in the box. So you got 8 in the box. And you got 4 D linemen here, 3 linebackers, and a safety. Then you got single high, so it's truly 8 in the box.
I think your
antenna
should be going off, though. Because you see both defensive tackles are extremely tight. Usually in an over, you're going to see that 3,
the 3's going to be a little bit looser.
He'll be, a little looser. And then the shade should be on the center.
Yeah, he should be on the center. So they're going to get to that.
And he's got the wrong hand down. So I'm thinking something's up right off the bat. This looks funky to me.
Yeah, no, I agree. Now, with the O-line here, if they're running a zone, which it looks like they're running a zone.
Oh, he's on the wrong side.
Okay, so they stunned it to the right. The D-line stunned it to the right.
Okay.
So, so that means that you're leaving this guy free. But I feel like here, on an inside zone, I feel like this tackle should stay here. He should pick him up, put him down, and then brace up this guy. I feel like take a look at it again.
Yeah, I'm trying to see how
I feel like this turns into a double team. Actually, this turns into a double team where he can actually fall off of this here. Now that's gonna have to be, to me, that would be something you'd have to talk about in practice.
Yeah, you gotta work pretty hard to get there, but there's no way in hell that guard's gonna get to 12.
Yes, he's not getting to 12, and he's not getting this guy either, because they're actually, they're all fucked up on this. These two should be working.
They should be pushing.
He should be taking him. He should be taking him.
Yep.
He should be going for him.
Yep.
Tight ends. Yep. Good luck.
just don't get in the way.
Yeah, just do not get collapsed. Just try and run them out. But I feel like here you definitely. I feel like you definitely cannot leave your tackle. You can't leave your tackle by himself.
You're screwing him here. But they call it zone for a reason.
Yeah.
You have the fucking zone.
You have to stay on, and he is way too wide. This is he's almost stepping on the quarterback.
Yes, that too. But on the front side, these guys shouldn't be turning back.
Yeah, you never turn back in a zone. You just use your presence. You use for this guy for this, it was a 71, maybe 77. You have to keep presence with your inside, which will be your left arm and your left side of your body, to send him to the center while you are facing and picking up 40. Same thing for him. He should be sending you 40 while he's heading up to maybe 12. Well, no, it would be 13. He's the Mike. 13's the Mike, but you could low it. You could low it, low, and call him the Mike because you're counting him as a linebacker as well.
Yep, that's feasible.
This is graduate level stuff, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll give the tight ends these two guys over here, 13, 23.
Yeah, y'all man up here. Take him. Take care
of the box, so to speak.
Yeah, take care. We want the box. We're going to call these guys are outside of the box here. Yeah, so the box would be tackle to tackle.
Yeah, we'd actually make a box call and essentially wipe out that part of the picture. Like you two, I don't give a fuck what y'all do. Just don't let them make the play.
Yeah, if this was us in Jacksonville, we would initially just on looking at it from just looking, we would say these are the linebackers because these are the D linemen.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we would say, okay, but this guy's going to walk into the box. He's going to be a yard or two behind the backers. And this guy is known to be a tackler. He's known to be a guy who comes in and gets involved in the run game. So we're going to call him a backer. If he comes down into the box in any way, if he starts walking down here and you got single high, then we're going to come off of 13. We're going to low, which would be change the call to the next man to the left. Low. He's your call backer. He's now the Mike. He's the Will, Mike, Sam. And you block the whoever ends up being the guy who zones through will zone through to him.
Yep.
And that's where I think, again, you can't – this is – and in zone, there's even exceptions made in zone blocking for backsides like this where you just say, look, y'all just man these guys. Don't – because this guy's coming from a tight three. He's not going to come all the way to the backside A gap. He's going into the – he's going to go from the B gap to the A gap.
Yep.
So center's going to take him. He's going to take the defensive end. He's going to take 12. You two take these two. These two take these two. And then you got one running back on the safety or on this guy. If this guy fires, then you might say, okay, one guy can try to, but it's not a rule. It's if you can.
Yeah, we would call this a sift. Basically,
we had sift off and get.
We had the most dangerous two of the three, so we had to kind of read it on the run. Basically, where if that guy went behind me, I'm still going to keep my hand on him because I'm not getting to the front side of the play. Now I'm just looking for who shows up first out of 17 and 5, or who we deem to be most dangerous on the fly. So that's why you got to communicate, first of all.
You got to be communicating because things can play out in a number of different ways.
Yeah. I mean,
and you're expected to be aware on how to handle each of them.
Right.
It's not like, oh, well, we didn't work that too much. No, we did work it. We might only work it once. We might only work it one time. But make sure you keep that in your mind that can happen. Especially if they've shown it more than once, or they've shown it a number of times in certain situations. This might be third and short. But I think here he's kind of got screwed. He did actually work to get back inside of that guy, which I think is good.
Great effort. That
but
is
he
difficult.
didn't. Yeah, that's difficult, but he didn't. If he would have brought this, look at that hand right there. He's hugging him.
It's around his back. Yep.
You got to bring that under and rip through, and it looks a lot better. Looks a lot better than that. All right, let's get 3 more plays in. Okay. Now, I've always been like, yo, don't look like you're tired. This looks like you're tired right here. Look at it. Look at him. Look at all these cats. Now look at you. Shit.
I will say it's the same on every play. I've been peeping his stance.
Okay.
I don't love the way. Hey, if it works for you, by all means, if that's what we're comfortable. Because he does it in the run game too. So it's not as if he changes up his stance for run plays. I don't love it personally, but it seems to be working for him.
I would say you got to look at him.
Yeah.
If I don't know if you're looking at him, then there's a problem.
And
look at this guy.
And this is a home game. It's not like
you're on the road.
loud. They're not on the road, and I'm like, oh shit, I can't see the ball.
Yeah, like
I can't
you
hear
gotta
shit.
look at him.
I can't see shit. Like, yeah, it's okay. You're not fooling anybody.
Yeah, you ain't fooling nobody. You gotta look at him at least. Now his set, I think, is pretty good. I think this is a pretty good set. He doesn't get turned too fast. 1, 2, 3. I mean, yeah, no, I think that's about right. I think that he gets a good punch here, but I think that's a good job right there. Replacing.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Getting that hand down the hip.
He's not even on the hip. He got it under. He got it onto the shoulder blade. He's under his armpit, I think. He's under his arm right there. Now, I think the problem here in this pass set is only, to me, that once you make that hit, you did not affect this defensive end's outside shoulder with that left arm, with his left arm. So, in a way, even though I do like this set, he collapsed pretty quick. And when you and how do I know he collapsed pretty quick?
Because he got her on that edge.
Because he got that edge. He already got the edge on it. His legs, all his weight's right here. This leg's off the ground. Shoulder is turned. Now almost his shoulder is turned to the point where you can see his back numbers, which means you have been edged. Like, that's what it is. He didn't even get his rip through. If he gets his rip through, he might even got hands on the quarterback. He didn't get that. Look at that. He's trying to get that rip. He didn't get it through.
Yep. That's a quick...
I got to give him a minus on that one just because he did get beat. Even though he started off with a good set, he got beat. No.
You got lucky. It's a quick throw.
Oh,
shit. Turned my head for 2 seconds.
No, you didn't see it. Yeah.
Damn. Hey.
That's why you got to punch him. That's why he did. This is what he got beat here.
Look where his weight is.
He got beat here because he didn't punch. Now he actually, again, good damn set.
Right there, he's still fine.
He's fine. Now, right here, now it's timing up perfectly for him right now. He's doing this. She's giving you a shimmy to go inside. You're actually got all your weight on this inside leg with this kick set, with the kicking leg touching the ground so that you can redirect. What happens when you redirect? You redirect this way.
Yep. Try to trip him with that inside knee.
Yes, you redirect this way. You don't open this leg. If you open that leg, he is going to beat you. You have to redirect right back the way you came so that you can punch him with that inside arm, lift this shoulder blade up, this shoulder pad up, and get your outside arm into his chest, and like you're basically sitting on his momentum so that he can't get to the inside. You also got your guard's help here, but cannot open, and that's what he did.
And what the fuck is the guard looking at?
And the guard said, fuck, psych. The guard said, psych. Wow. So I didn't even see that.
Yeah. If I was judging the guard here, obviously help the fucking tackle.
Oh, guard's getting a minus.
Get depth. Yeah. Why are you still on the original line of scrimmage?
Yeah.
You have no responsibility.
Back a little bit, keep an eye on him.
You get back as far as you can, and you keep an eye on both guys. Making the job a little easier on yourself, because now you're at a different level than everybody. And yes, I mean, I see some ribs open. I can go get me a. But
shoot, he didn't even give him a. Hold on, no, he didn't even give him but a peek. He gave him a peek. He said
they must got beef.
They must got beef. He took one step here.
Oh, he's good.
Looked, and then he's good.
Yeah, he saw this.
That's not what you want. You don't want that.
He saw this half
slab
of ribs
right here.
Ran
for this cat. Gee.
He saw that half slab. So let me get this rib plate right quick.
He saw I want all these ribs right here. It's just like help! Help! Running back said, "Fuck you."
Generally speaking, this guy in the middle here is a poor pass rusher. Don't help him.
This guy is the least of your worries on pass rush.
Prioritize him. He's at the bottom of the totem pole. You need to be worried.
This guy
10 times more
this
about
guy.
Yeah.
These are your threats.
Woo. Yeah,
That's he opened his inside leg. That's really what it boils down to. He's in good shape right here. He should have sat and get ready to punch. Now,
yeah, I might have even gone
that's without
more
knowing. Yeah, that's
true.
without knowing that he's going to cut inside. I would have thought that this is where you want to make your stand right here. He took one more, and he was in the air when he made contact. Both legs off the ground, both feet off the ground. And he turnstile. He turnstiled it.
That's not a good feeling.
That's not a good look. It's not a good look. He's got a minus on that one all the way through. Okay, that's not good either. Are they reversing it? Nope, that's not good. I'm like, if they're reversing it, okay, maybe we're coached into that. But yeah, this is your guy. Yeah, no.
Ooh.
That's your backer. 23 is your guy.
You gotta lead him.
This is what we talked about. Me and Justin talked about this before. You've got to get over here.
This guy's obviously not a duck hunter.
You got to be running flat this way to get him on the run where you can control him.
Yeah, usually you
can't run to him. He's going to beat you. He's just faster by nature.
You're going to meet him somewhere around that hash.
Yeah, that's where you want to be running to this hash on these guys' heels, flat, which means you'll usually end up, because this guy he's gonna start running. You'll usually end up meeting him right around close to the hash, within a yard or two of the hash. So that was a bad job of getting his face to the right side and approaching it. All right, last play here. Oh, no. What are you doing?
Oh, wait a second.
That was his guy. All the way.
I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but yeah.
Ain't nowhere to go.
Like,
he got him. I mean, the
them
guard
two
can't
got
even help
17 and 12. There's nowhere else to. I'm not even sure. Someone's not communicating here.
Yeah, this is okay. So let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 40 linemen. You got outside linebacker here. You got a linebacker here. This guy's a safety. Yeah, you're 2 backers. So they're playing. They're playing under here. You got no, that's tight end right there. They're playing over.
Yeah.
They're playing over. You got 2-3 techniques, which to me, 2-3 techniques means something's about to happen. 2 threes.
Yeah, this is almost like a solid front.
Yeah.
Well, so solid was just bear with 1 linebacker, basically.
Yeah, bear. This is a bear front. Yeah, yeah. What am I thinking? Yeah. They shift into a bear. So they started.
Yeah. You're right. So they reduced down from the over, and then
they weren't over.
Yep.
They reduced to a bear.
Or under.
That means they're going to do something.
In the shade. Yeah, something's coming here.
Okay, so he crosses face here. He crosses face here. I believe he's supposed to be crossing face here. He just comes straight off the ball. You got to block him. That's your guy. Who else are you going to go to? That's misassignment. I mean, that's a mental error.
Yeah. The count. Everyone else seems to be on the right count. So yeah,
everybody's on the right count. Yeah.
I think he just panicked and not much of an athlete.
I mean,
moment was too big. Pissed out his leg.
There you go. Right. Moment's too big. Pissed out your leg. We got tackle for a loss. Because the dude just came off the ball. He didn't do anything at all. He just came off. He just stepped forward. He engaged. I think he just threw him in there, but if he was able to throw him in there like that, he should have went tumbling through knees.
Right. Yeah, he's coming off like it's outside zone to the right.
Yeah, he's coming off like he's actually going up to somebody.
Because he crosses over all the way Like he's trying to get on his horse and run and cut this guy out, but he kind of backdoors him there, and he doesn't react at all. So he doesn't know like who he's working to. First of all,
that's what I think it is. He just doesn't know. He doesn't know who the call is, but he's a tackle. Like you know, you're not working with the tight end. Like y'all aren't going to double up and you just come off to 12. So, and this guy's uncovered. I mean, really, he just a misassignment. Yeah,
there's nowhere else for him to go. So that's just bad all the way around.
All right, let's give him one more chance to fucking redeem himself.
Yeah, I don't want to end like that.
Okay. He touched the quarterback. Yeah, that's not good either. But okay. So let's talk about this. This is a ET. End is penetrating. End does a good job of actually, giving him a false sense that he's rushing upfield. But even at that, he's still coming like a little bit too tight to be an upfield rush. His head gets turned on contact. Man, this dude has the build. He has athleticism.
You can tell he's an athlete.
Yeah, you can tell he's an athlete, but I think he don't know what the fuck he's doing.
I'm curious how long he's been playing O-line now.
Yeah, because he's doing some things that, I mean, come on, man, we're pros. We know we're way advanced on this. Like but even in college, I passed them games off. I love passing games off. Okay, so
he's got a particularly square stance and little stagger for a tackle. I'm not sure if that's affecting his ability to get depth in his kicks. He's setting awfully flat on everything. Yeah,
look at this. Look at this one. Look at him. Yeah, you're right. I think that maybe he hasn't been playing tackle very long.
I think, kick that outside laid back a little bit more, give yourself, a little steeper angle, and give you more time to, diagnose what's going on. He's been playing.
Says here in 2018, coming out of high school, Nicholas was the nation's consensus top-ranked offensive tackle.
Oh, okay.
Prospect with ESPN. So he's been tackle. It's just
maybe he was just better than everybody, and he didn't have to, have great.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he just. I think he just has not been coached very well. No, I've seen him doing some solid stuff, like with technique and how he's like, it looks like he knows that he's supposed to do this, but here, he's squared up, very square. Like that's like his sets are solid. He actually changes the speed of his sets. I've noticed that in the film. Like some of them he sets faster, some he sets. This is a slow set here, which means when you slow set something, you're expecting something.
Yep.
When I slow set, it's because I'm reading that this dude is he's about to stunt somewhere. Yeah. So let me slow set it and have my hands ready to just shoot out like guns, just like pop off on him as soon as he makes a move, because that's what I'm expecting. If he doesn't, then I speed my set back up and keep him outside. But here, that's a good initial reaction.
Pretty good. He gets the inside foot. It's kind of flat down the line. In a perfect world, it would be back into the line, but the shit's hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
it's really fucking difficult to do it, right.
Yeah. It's not easy.
But also here, see, this is why I hate the ET. Because, the guard's sitting here thinking, oh, man, I got to fucking play off. This dude's chilling. And all of a sudden, this guy, he reacts decently, but he needs to be further back again.
Let's see what the down and distance is. It's third.
It's got to be third and long because they're running double. They're running double stunts here. There's a TE in the backside.
3rd and 9. They're running games, so that means even if they don't, you are setting like they are. So you should be setting vertical set with your eyes on him. As soon as he makes this move, you're setting back into the line and you are getting ready to toss his ass right into 91. Because that's how you kill it.
Yep.
You don't kill it all. If you want to kill it, you can kill it by snatching him as he's moving inside and throwing him into 91. Man, when they run TEs, I would do that's what I love to do. I would snatch this dude up and I would throw him into the DN. And they both would go flying by the tackle, rolling. And the tackle would just stand there like, damn, okay, cool.
Play out for me. That's a plus.
That's a plus. Because what he has to do now is this guard has to bury his helmet in this dude's chest to have a chance.
He's got to trap him.
Yeah, he's got to trap him into the tackle. He's going to have to make this like a violent collision to save this block.
Yeah, now it's like Superman and Doomsday.
Exactly. He's got to like throw his head
double
in
knockouts.
Yeah, but that's the only way that he's going to be able to stop momentum and knock this guy backwards a little bit so that this tackle has a chance on 91. Mm-hmm. And then he has a chance to snatch up 17 right here. But other than that, like now you're stuck because once one person has to come off of this, he's going to get through. And then you've got to battle him as well. So there's no win here.
This should never happen to the slide side either.
This shouldn't happen to the slide side.
That guard, you shouldn't be so far into the line where you have to do that if you have the slide.
He doesn't even really move. That's the thing that be killing me about his set, the guard. Yeah. He doesn't even set.
You don't have to go far or fast or anything, but just get back. It's like you said.
He doesn't move this leg at all. This leg does not move.
3rd and 9, you know something's happening. So get back, give yourself some time to react. Just do yourself a favor. Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, work smarter, not harder. That was working too hard for me.
Yeah, you're making that way too difficult.
Yeah. That's going to be it for us, guys. That is the last play of this O-line breakdown. Once again, we do appreciate you guys for being in here with us. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already done so. We will be back on Wednesday with another O-line breakdown. We'll be reporting on news from the sports world as it pertains to football and any huge breaking headlines if they occur. We'll be talking about those as well. We do appreciate y'all. We will catch you all on the next one. We hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their night. And peace in the Middle East. See y'all later.
Peace and hair grease.